Closing arguments ended last Friday in the Depp defamation trial against Amber Heard. As the trial drew to a close, each side was given the opportunity to provide a final justification to the jury as to why they should win the case and tie together all of the evidence that has been presented at trial. Providing an effective closing argument is an essential part of an attorney's role in successfully trying a case. An important thing to note about closing arguments is that they are not subjected to the rules of evidence in the same way as when witnesses are testifying, as is throughout a larger portion of this trial. Closing arguments give attorneys the opportunity to dramatize a case and attempt to tie the evidence into an easily understood storyline in their favor. So today we'll be taking a look at some of the highlights from the Depp team's closing arguments and breaking them down for you. But before we get started, remember as always to subscribe and check out our other social platforms regularly for exclusive releases. Now on to the highlights of closing arguments. Number 1.
We ask you to give Mr. Depp his life back.
One of the essential elements of a closing argument is reiterating a call to action to the jury. Because closing arguments aren't subjected to the rules of evidence, a powerful narrative such as "give Mr. Depp his life back" can appeal to the jury by framing the issue at hand in a direct and simple way. Number 2.
You also heard from Ms. Roberts that she witnessed Ms. Heard clawing and grabbing at Mr. Depp, grabbing his hair, trying to pull him back to her, and Mr. Depp had a visible injury to his nose on that occasion. Most importantly, you heard from Ms. Heard yourselves on multiple audio recordings admitting to being physically violent with Mr. Depp.
Recounting the testimony of witnesses and blending it into your presentation of the theory of the case helps corroborate your story. In a trial with dozens of witnesses and weeks of testimony, lots of things may have been missed or forgotten by the jury. The closing arguments are the opportunity for each side to remind the jury of what facts have been presented during the trial, especially facts that support their case, and attempt to mitigate, very importantly, any facts that do not support their case. Number 3.
To whether you believe Ms. Heard or you believe Mr. Depp, Christy Dombrowski, Sean Bett, Malcolm Connolly, Travis McGivern, Starling Jenkins, Keenan Wyatt, Dr. Kipper, nurses.
Reminding the jury of the long list of witnesses called by Depp throughout the course of the trial can help to bolster his credibility. Depp's strategy throughout the course of this trial has been to demonstrate that Heard has not been truthful in her statements about him both in and out of the courtroom. Using the witnesses in a way that suggests to the jury that lots of people can agree with Depp can be very powerful, even if the people mentioned were his witnesses to begin with. Number 4. Heard's team has taken a very different approach from Johnny Depp's closing arguments. Mr. Rottenberg attempts to characterize this case as a First Amendment issue. The United States has a robust protection for free speech, and Heard's team argues that the jury should be careful not to infringe on the constitutional protections of free speech by penalizing Heard by speaking about her alleged experiences. This is very interesting considering that a defamatory statement must be of and about the person. Claiming defamation, and as you all know by now, the op-ed in question here doesn't mention Depp by name. What do you guys think? Did Depp prove that the op-ed is about him? Does Heard have a right to First Amendment protection in her op-ed? Let us know in the comments. Now, number 5.
We told you that this would be a performance, the role of her lifetime.
Ms. Velasquez reminds the jury here of several statements Depp's team made during the beginning of their trial in an effort to establish rapport. Saying that Amber was going to put on the performance of her lifetime all those weeks ago really has a different ring to it after this.
I'm not sitting in this courtroom snickering. I'm not sitting in this courtroom laughing.
And this.
You don't have any visible injuries to your face, do you?
None that you can see.
Even though Mr. Depp whacked you in the face so hard that your nose bled?
He did.
While wearing chunky big rings, right?
That's correct.
This is a picture of you and Mr. Depp the night after Mr. Depp allegedly whacked you in the face so hard you thought he had broken your nose.
And this.
You told this jury under oath that Mr. Depp was aggressive and trashed a trailer in Hicksville. You didn't expect the manager of the Hicksville property, Morgan Knight, to come forward and testify that that was untrue, did you?
Incorrect.
Well, that's it for 5 of the top moments during Friday's closing arguments in the Depp vs. Heard saga. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and more importantly, ring the notification bell in the corner to make sure that you always stay up to date on my latest exclusive legal content. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.